Whenever you read in the back of sporting magazines or the American Rifleman, there's always articles, my favorite gun or my first gun. Well, this here is the first gun I ever bought. You know, we had firearms in the family, a shotgun, a single shot, 22 rifle, BB guns, and then I used as a child. But the first firearm I actually purchased myself was this 88 Commisiom rifle. I bought this thing almost 35 years ago when I was a teenager in the late 70s. Got it out of one of the ads in the back of a gun magazine and sent him a money order and told him I was over 21, and within a week the gun arrived. And it's I might have been mistaken, I was shooting this in a few videos. It's 1891 Danzig, and it was sent to Turkey. It's got the 88/15, I believe, modification. Sometimes I can't remember. Where it has the stripper clip guide and the magazine cap, and it's got, you know, the milled out thing, and you just load it with stripper clips like a regular magazine gun. And it still has the Turkish style numbering on the rear sight. When I got the gun, you know, 8mm was a popular caliber. My grandfather had a KR-98 that he sporterized that he brought home from the war, and he hunted deer with it for years, so ammunition was not a big deal. And we took it out and fired it, and it was quite accurate, and it would go off in that, you know, but I did notice that the cases, the primer would be kind of backed out a little and bulgy and that, and kind of fired it a few times and said, you know, maybe it ain't quite right or something's wrong. And then, you know, the big mystique with the 88 Commisiom rifle about the grooves and that. So the gun got put away, and I figured it wasn't quite safe to fire. And over the years, all the different hundreds of guns I bought, sold, and owned, I always kept this one because it was the first one I ever bought. First military antique rifle, and I never got rid of it. I had it all these years, and actually until I made those videos, which I posted just in front of these, it was the first time I fired this gun in over 30 years. And what I did was, when I was doing my work on the 88s and got, you know, went and bought a set of Headspace gauges because, you know, I have enough rifles to warrant using it, get my money out of buying them. I checked the headspace on the gun. It would take the no-go gauge, and if you put the field gauge in, it would just almost not quite close on the field gauge, which isn't good, and that's what the problem was. So when I was doing work on some other guns, I bought a receiver wrench and a barrel vise, and I figured I'd pull this off, maybe I'd rebarrel it or something. So when I pulled the barrel off, I took it apart, I pulled off the barrel. The inside of the action was full of crud and grime, and I washed it, cleaned it all out, cleaned it up, put a little anti-seize, and I noticed there was like, it looked like something from a copper brush. A little bit of copper was wedged up in there between the face. So I cleaned all this crud out, and it looks like somebody brushed something or used a brush when they were rebarreling this gun, because there is a little serial number that matches the ones on the receiver stamped on the barrel when they changed over the barrel. This gun was re-arsenaled at one time. So I said, I don't understand why all these other guns I got that are slapped together from spare parts, you know, it's quite kind of obvious, all Headspace all right, and this one doesn't, when it obviously was armored or reworked at one time, and that barrel matches the receiver. Well, I cleaned it all out, cranked it all back down, and got it to where Headspace where it starts to close on a no-go but won't close. So we're good. You know, it's a little tad bit long, but not terrible. So now I got the gun Headspace. So now I feel confident I could fire it. And when I slug the barrel, the grooves are, I think 324, and the rifling is worn. This gun was shot, so this doesn't have a mint barrel in it. It's not pitted or rusted. So it's a little worn, and I went and shot it, and I was quite impressed. After all these years, I tried shooting some cast bullets in it, and it mustn't have been engaging well enough. And I made the cast bullets for the commission rifles that have a smaller groove diameter. But I used my low pressure load with a standard 198 grain full metal jacket bullet, and I load it down with a powder where the velocity is lower and it should be within the pressure limits that people say are for this gun. I forget what the PSI is, but it's under that PSI. And at 200 yards, I took this out with the fixed sights, and at 200 yards, I shot this target, which I have a video of me shooting it. And after 30 years, this old gun still shot quite well, and I was impressed. Probably if there wasn't a lot of people running around the range and creating a commotion, and if I got my breathing down, took my time, and tried to make the shots count, that would be a lot better. But I got 19 out of 20 rounds on this sheet of paper out at 200 yards, which is impressive for you know, old surplus gun. It's been hanging around for 30 years, not being used. It was a nice feeling to shoot it. Now I'm going to get on to some other collecting videos.